Well, hello, my beautiful Virgo. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your yearly reading for 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings, and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam. Okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. I'm going to cleanse your space hourly, so please be mindful there's going to be 3 loud sounds. And let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Virgo, this is your yearly reading for 2025. I can't believe I'm saying that, but here we are. It's going to be wild and wonderful, chaotic, and downright weird. But when is it not? So let us just tap into your personal energy to see what's going on for you in the year ahead. And of course, as I shuffle the cards, I will let you know what's going on in terms of energy for you to tap into and what is available and possible in the world at large as well as we move forward. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know regarding the year ahead, 2025? What is in store for them? Well, we made it to 2025, which will be one of the biggest years of our lives to date. We can, of course, all feel globally that it will be a bit of a bumpy road ahead, but there are so many incredible opportunities available to you personally, and it really does have so much potential. Now, Venus moved into the sign of Pisces at the very beginning of January, encouraging you to walk boldly into 2025 with an open heart, to romance your life more, add creative flair in all of your endeavors, and aspire to the finer things in life. Follow your heart and fill it with joy. It's a perfect year to meet your soulmate if you're searching for love. And also, if you're in a high-level commitment already, it's a perfect time to either renew vows or declare deeper feelings for your person or understand each other deeper in your relationship. But when Mars goes direct from late February, it's an all-out invitation to set your soul ablaze with wild spontaneity and adventure, whilst also hitting your personal targets along the way. Now, this year is more about feeling fulfilled, right to your very core. However, 2025, it will also be a bit of an intense year for many reasons. It's actually a 9-year in numerology, which is the end of cycles. And it kind of demands radical change. A new chapter requires a new version of you, and that's exactly your approach to many things this year. Karmic cycles are coming to an end. Also, a lot of major planets are hanging out in the sign of Pisces or Aries this year. I almost want to call it a clash of fire and water. Things will be heating up. Whether you've been good or bad, expect karma to come knocking on your door. 2025 is all about your personal journey, about discipline, self-mastery, reprogramming to move away from the past, from old hurts, generational toxicity or wounding, so that you can be set free and reignite that spark, that lust for life. Now, Jupiter plays a very significant role here too. It wants to reward you this year for all your hard work over the last couple of years, and it will be a fair exchange based on your karmic debt. Now, also, this energy plays an important role on a personal level, of course, because anything that you're passionate about, that you're creating, will leave a legacy. All you dedicate yourself to, it actually dials up the level of success this year. There's a lot of good luck available. However, 2025, it is the precipice of change, so expect to be a little bit flexible this year. Things will work out as planned, but there may be a few plot twists along the way. Now, this may also occur especially on a global scale, and with Saturn and Neptune close to 0 degrees in Aries, which has never happened in recorded history, a new era is birthing something radical. Now, you may see drastic changes in infrastructure or in industries that you work in or rely on. We'll see a lot of CEOs or figureheads of governing institutions stepping down this year. I did actually already mention this in my previous messages, but we've already seen one major figure just step down, so there's a lot more of that to come. Okay, you probably don't need me to tell you that, but I can see what's going on there, and there's more to come, let's put it that way. And of course, it's just a change of face, however. The old guard, it still remains the same, if you know what I mean, for now though. And of course, Saturn and Neptune have been conjunct before, of course, but never at 0 degrees Aries, which will be direct as we move into 2026. So these 2 years are very pivotal years when it comes to global events and the structure of society. You know, this is a pretty big deal. You know, this conjunction has actually collapsed empires in the past, but at 0 degrees Aries, this is new. So it could be a fiery clash to topple old structures, rules, regulations, establishments, or traditional ways of doing things recently that are just not working. Suddenly and radically, they change. For example, a most notably kind of prominent Saturn-Neptune conjunction saw the Berlin Wall fall. You can actually Google what other empires and their legacies collapsed during this type of conjunction, which is quite fascinating actually, and it may indicate what we have in store for the year ahead and beyond. Actually, you've got 2 cards for December, very exciting there. So this is a month of adventure for you, so maybe you're booking a big major travel vacation there, but we'll get to that in a moment. Now also, I want you to be aware, of course, that this energy on your personal level helps you to challenge yourself, try new approaches or new technology that will benefit you. It's also the year of the wood snake in Chinese astrology, which is all very auspicious energy. Actually, it's very good luck. But remember, of course, it's about transformation. It's about shedding the old, rebirthing, rejuvenating. And of course, snakes can also be charmed. Pluto works extra hard this year to help you increase your personal intuition, to see beyond motives of whoever is playing the pipe, or indeed whoever is paying the piper. The world is literally shedding its metaphorical skin, and you can see it. You don't need me to tell you this, but things are shifting, especially in terms of physical landscapes. So personally, you may be on a quest for newness this year, but the Earth itself is also shifting. We'll see more seismic activity, even in areas not prone to it. Also, large volcanic activity will increase, as well as the potential for water-related events. Areas I'm drawn to in particular are the Pacific Plate, specifically an underwater volcano that I have my eye on. Well, you know, I keep seeing it in visions anyway, so I'll have to see where that is. I'm not really being given a location just yet, and I'm not really au fait with underwater volcanoes, but that's what I keep seeing. But also the Nevada de la Ruiz and St. Helens. And a hotspot area will be along the Ring of Fire and the African Plate. Now, this part of the world is a bit of an obvious one, but Turkey and Indonesia will see more activity as well this year, and we will see a gradual increase in solar flares activity in terms of affecting power grids until we reach solar maximum in July. So I would just say keep a torch at handy, nothing to worry about, this too shall pass. I also wish I could tell you that this crazy weather will calm down, but unfortunately it will only increase, and we may even see a Category 6 added to the hurricane system. I really hope I'm wrong on that one, but tangible assets will also structurally change. Financial structures will be revolutionized. Economically, we will see a challenging year ahead globally, but in order to come out the other side positively, we must go through. So this is like heading towards the light at the end of the tunnel, let's put it that way. You know, sometimes it's a bit bumpy, but you got to go through it, and then when we come out the other side, it's a lot more positive. It's a year of sustainability and self-sufficiency, basically, and 2025, it will actually reveal revolutionary advancements in technology, especially in healthcare, so that will be positive. Also, just when you thought you couldn't be shocked any further, Neptune and Pluto gang up on well-known figures in the public eye to expose those who are up to no good, especially the ones who are doing it on our dime. And this year, it's about removing the layers, really seeing below the surface. Ultimately, it's about purifying, detoxifying, getting back on track, and being successful in all all that you dedicate yourself to on a personal level. And also on that deeper note, the North Node forces us to look at what we've been accepting for too long that is less than we truly deserve. And anything that's caused pain, sadness, hardship, whether it's a relationship, friendship, environment, or even a lifestyle choice, this is the year to face it head on with a smile in your heart, fully understand what needs to change or what you need to walk away from, and in that very moment of empowerment, you realize what you're truly capable of to transform and transcend your life, to live life without limitations, and, basically aspire to the life that you really want, to live your best life. I know it's such a cliche to say that, but this is the year to really find what you truly want, that missing ingredient, to find that happiness and feel secure. Now, your first card there is all about that. Your first card for January is the Sun. So, some of you may have decided to go on a vacation to a sunnier climate, but that's really kind of like a basic energy I've got there. More than anything, you're promising yourself you just want to be happy. You want to be secure. You're going through a period of personal development and growth, and there is a lot of auspicious energy around you. When you have this card, it can indicate that you are more hopeful for 2025 being better than the year before. It's a brand new year. I feel like, yes, there's a lot more energy available to you in January. I feel like you're going to be very productive. You're going to be really mindful of, your actions or steps that are necessary in order to basically hit your targets. I'm seeing lots of arrows around you. Okay, that tends to mean you're very ambitious. This is actually a very ambitious card. So it can mean that you've got a lot on your to-do list this year, and you're going to cross the majority of that off your list. I feel some of those things on your list are something that's ongoing, something that will, be sustained and maintained throughout the year. So it's not really like ticking it off your list. I feel like you're just doing it. But the rest of the things, I feel like you are ticking them off your list because you're completing them. Whether it's more adventure, more travel, more opportunity, I feel there's an energy here of you mastering yourself and taking ownership of your time there as well. This card, it's light. It says light sun, and as you can see, there's two people there. So if you're single right now, this could be that you are focusing a little bit more on relationships or wanting to find love this year. If you're already in a relationship, it could be that you and your person are having big conversations about where you feel happy, where you feel like you truly belong. Because as you can see there's a big old ball of sun, but it's kind of dripping down, which is creating like new landscapes. So I definitely see that you're more adventurous this year. You're wanting to take more risks. This is also you taking stock of what you've got so far, being grateful for who and what you have right now. Even though there are missing ingredients, I feel like you're being really clear about what it is that you want, and you are acknowledging that, you are in a position where things are like okay, right? We could all aspire to more, and sometimes it's been pretty difficult. 2024 was a bit of a pressurized year. It can have been a very difficult, challenging year, but I feel like you are still standing up there proud and, facing the sun. Nothing is going to get in your way of what it is you want to accomplish. You're unstoppable in your endeavors. And this card can also indicate you're focusing on your vitality, your health. This is something that is shining through very strongly as well. It's number 6, which is about keeping your life in balance. 6th house is more about your focus on bills, repayment plans, exercise routines, perhaps even cutting something out, because the sun can be a purifying energy. It can be that you're detoxifying, you're trying to cleanse and really choose healthier options in life as well. So I feel there's a bit of a restructure going on in terms of your landscapes, and you just want to be happy. You want to be, at optimum energy, and you want, of course, optimum health there as well. So you're going to be certainly focusing on that. This is what this card actually means. You're concentrating on building your health and shining your light, even when you feel a little bit down or a little bit grouchy sometimes, which we all do. Okay, I feel like you're trying to approach things from a less critical point of view. Okay, I feel like you're trying to be a little bit more positive this year. Now let's really clarify this energy. The 6th house can indicate, of course, that you're in the flow of your responsibilities. You're getting back into the energy of the year of doing. So if you actually took some time off over the seasonal period, it could be that you're just getting back into the flow of things, that you're inspired, that you're fired up and ready to really, hit your targets and get 2025 as being one of the best years yet. But also, I feel this is, 6 is the number of the Lover's card. So this is more about your manifestations, your goals, your dreams, dreams and really setting goals and intentions that align with true happiness. And of course, true happiness comes from within. Now, before we even move on to this clarity card, I feel like some of you are going to witness a moment of joy in the month of January. So it could be, you know, someone around you has some good news. It could also be that perhaps if you're in a high-level commitment, your partner kind of tells you that they want commitment, they want to be long-term, talking about marriage, things like that, because I'm getting real romantic energy here. But it could be that you're wanting to romance your life, or it could be that, you know, you are connecting to your heart space to really put a vibration out. You know, you are setting the foundation of what you want 2025 to be. And you've got the Sun card, which means you're positive. This is an action-packed year ahead for you. And you are leading with intention, with motivation, with drive, with diligence, dedication. You're committed. And I feel this energy rising up within you. Also, I feel like you're not allowing anyone to dull your shine. I feel like you're being really confident about the year ahead. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. So I'm also seeing some good luck around you. But the Wheel of Fortune at a really grassroots level, it means you're making some changes, okay? You're being flexible this year. I feel like you are kind of like looking at things where you can adjust in order to be more successful in a certain area. It could be that you're tweaking a plan, you're taking all the tools and the lessons that you learned from last year with you into this one, but it feels like it's going to be a luckier year for you, okay? Now, the Wheel of Fortune, of course, it indicates prosperity. So you're focusing on your finances. I feel, you know, the Sun is all about growth. So you may be looking at new ways to transform your money this year. You know, January is kind of like you, I don't want to say hitting the ground running, because I feel a lot of you are easing yourself into January, getting back into the flow of things with emails, you know, phone calls, responsibilities, administrative tasks. I feel like you're just creating a foundation so that you're on top of things, and then you're getting the year moving there. But that Wheel of Fortune, it tells me that, you know, you're breaking patterns. So it can indicate that you're cutting things out, perhaps, you know, breaking old habits, or maybe cutting something specific out as an intention that you will stick to as you move throughout the year. I also feel like you're keeping an eye on something. It's interesting that I said I feel like you'll witness something that's really positive, either connected to your friends or family, because this energy, it feels outside of yourself, but you celebrate it, so it feels like somehow it is still connected to you. And we've got a card with an eye right in the center. Now, of course, because these two cards pretty much are indicating clarity of vision and, you know, prosperity. So it can be that you're keeping an eye on what you are doing already, you know, maintaining and sustaining, but also you're setting your visions in motion. And some of you, again, it could be an eye appointment as well. It could be that you're keeping a close eye on your eye health, for example, or you could be seeing a practitioner and get some really good news, maybe like a prescription change as well in terms of glasses. You know, I feel this is about some of you like bringing yourself in for a health MOT. So it could be that you're booking appointments connected to like, practitioners, dentists, maybe even joining a gym for some of you. It doesn't have to be that. I mean, the Sun energy can indicate you are promising yourself to be more active, more physical this year. And also, I feel a lot of you are wanting to be absorbed into like new knowledge is what I'm seeing. So you could have been booking classes for the year ahead, or even like putting new exciting endeavors in your diary for the year ahead. Because I see a lot of you wanting something fresh, new, could be like festivals, events, things that bring you joy. So you could be looking at what's going on in your neighborhood, or even further afield there as well. You know, with the Strength card, I mean, I pulled a card from a full deck there, and you got another major arcana card. So January is a big month for you. I know we're in the first week of January now, but I feel like you're promising yourself to be more bold, more daring, have confidence to take calculated risks. You know, I feel like you're doing something differently this year. You're empowered, and also you are implementing self-care routines, because this is a card of, treating yourself in a way, or being strict with yourself in some ways, but also making sure that, you follow your heart and that you have compassion. You know, this card, this figure is actually very compassionate. It's like you're releasing the beast within, but also I feel like you're being less critical of yourself. That's what I meant by, less critical or grouchy. Sometimes when we feel that we haven't accomplished something, or it hasn't shown up in the time frame that we hope for, we get frustrated, and sometimes we get a little bit critical with ourselves. So I feel like you're showing more compassion there. But also the Strength card is all about self-control. It's about discipline. It's about composure, and it's about, virtues and like morals and things like that. You are someone who is persevering with the lifestyle that you are currently in, and I feel like you're not giving up on something, and I feel this is you being a real force to be reckoned with for the year ahead. So I feel there's a lot of strategy here. I feel there's a lot of maintaining. Sixes are about harmony, balance, keeping things running smoothly, back in the flow of your responsibilities and tasks, and you're setting an intention for the year ahead. Now, as we move into the month of February, I feel things pick up a little bit more pace for you, a little bit more busy. I mean, this card literally says time and discipline. You're owning your time. I feel also that there is some time-sensitive documents. This is the year for important documents for you. I would say in February, make sure you check your spam folder. Make sure you check your hard copy mail. There could be something very important that you need to address during this time. So it could be an expiry date of something, whether it's a contract renewal, insurance renewal, whether it's, car related. For some of you, it could be visa, passports, especially if you're intending to do a lot of travel, which I see a lot of movement this year for you. So I feel a lot of you are going places outside your comfort zone is what I see there. So it could be new destinations, big travel. I see 2 big holidays or vacations for you there. There's lots of little ones along the way, don't get me wrong, but I see a lot of you perhaps saving for a large vacation there too. Now this card, of course, it is number 41, and when you reduce it, 4 plus 1 is 5 there, of course, and my maths nearly failed me there, but because I'm channeling at the same time. But this card is about really being kind of like focused. It's about utilizing your time without procrastination. You may even identify what is the thing that keeps you like distracted, shall we say, because I feel like you don't want any distractions in the month of February, because I feel like you're fully in the flow of your projects. I feel there's some actually really good news. You get some excellent news in January, especially the 3rd week, okay? But in February, I feel there's more to come. It could be connected, is what I'm being given here by my guides. Now, I feel when you get this card, it's really important to recognize when you are taking some downtime, some good quality rest. Because sometimes I feel there's an energy that when you take a rest, you feel a little bit guilty that you should be doing something else, or you're still brainstorming something else with your time when you should be taking like quiet time or time in nature. So I feel like you are paying close attention to how you compartmentalize your time. I do feel that you're going to be pushed and pulled in many different directions in February. Okay, I feel like there's a lot going on, but I feel like you do find that balance between your responsibilities and your tasks, but also being a little bit more sociable, having fun. And I feel there's an important date in February. I'll pull a card on it and see what's going on there. But this card, it indicates that, you're not going to miss any opportunities. This is a time where you are fully alert and, you are in doing mode. I feel like you're taking action, you're focused, propelled by your intensity, action focused and oriented is what I'm being given there. Now, of course, as you can see, there is a tree connected to a brain. I would say, in terms of your finances, I'd say January is like, replenishing your accounts. That's what I'm feeling there. And, February is more about taking stock and saving more is what I see. I feel actually you've got a lot more money in March there too. I see you increasing, some of you, as you move through the year. There's bonus available. This could be in your career sector, could also be some sort of promotion in March is what I'm seeing there. Maybe even on the cusp between March and April. So if you're looking for a promotion, this is a big month for you there as well. Yeah, as I said, Chariot card, fast-paced month, pushed and pulled in many different directions. Chariot card is a directional card. It can be that you're focused here, but you've got other things to do. I feel like you are highly kind of intuitive and multitasking during this month. But the Chariot card also indicates that not only is it fast paced, but there is a sign of victory. Your dedication pays off. So your commitment to something, you will see evidence of a payoff in this month. Also, I would say there is some sort of victory win where you are recognized for something and appreciated for your endeavors. I mean, the Chariot card is an interesting one because it can also indicate that some of you literally purchase a car in this month, or there is something that needs to be done with your car. It could be a replacement of something. I'm seeing tires right now. Some of you, it could be like a tire replacement or something like that. It could be something that you know you need to get done. It could also be that you're calling up in perhaps maybe January to get something done with your car, but there's a backlog and you won't get an appointment until February. It could be something like that is what I'm seeing there. But the Chariot card indicates that you're harnessing your energy, that you're focused on your goals and your dreams. You know you have a lot to do, but you're on top of things. It means that you're smashing things out of the park. It means you're ticking things off your list. And it also means that you're keeping a tight rein on your finances during this month as well. Now, this is a month of action. It's also a month of change. And I feel because you've had the Wheel of Fortune in January as well, it feels like you're in a cycle of change right now. This could be that you're setting intentions, that this year is going to be different, that you are, approaching people differently. You're moving away from anyone who does not invest in your time. I feel like you're investing in yourself, prioritizing your own needs, but also I feel like you want to travel a little bit more. So there could be a little bit of travel going on here, or going to destinations outside your usual parameters, shall we say. And I feel this card is also indicating that you're leading with passion and drive, and you're finally leaving an old cycle behind. So it could be, for example, if you are cutting out a food substance that perhaps you don't agree with, or some sort of beverage that perhaps you feel like maybe dry January, for example, for some of you. It could be that you sustain this in February and realize actually you're not tempted to go back to it. It feels very much like you're moving forward. You're not going backwards at all. I'm just addressing the major energies that affect your month. I want you to be aware of that. There's a lot more detail as to what you'll experience in the month, but we've got a Tower here for you as well. So for some of you, it could be like something becomes critical that needs fixing for your car. I hate to give that message, for example, but it could be something, looking at it, it was time, because you got the time, discipline. So if you know that something needs to be looked at in your car right now, it could be that, you go, you know what, I'll leave it until a little bit later, but it becomes critical or time sensitive in February. This could also be that there is an important document, as I said, time sensitive. If you don't get this document, it could be critical. The Tower could also indicate that there's a bit of a shock. It could indicate that, something that perhaps has been continuing for such a long time suddenly comes to an abrupt end. So this could be a subscription, could be a service provider. Perhaps there's a product or a service that you use and suddenly it's discontinued, and now you've got to go searching elsewhere, because the Chariot card is to be on the move, to look for alternatives. For some of you, if you've been out of work, for example, or you were made redundant in 2024, I feel there could be 2 jobs on offer. Okay, if you're looking for a role, I feel actually there's a really great one coming in January, but also there's an equally good one in February if you didn't want to take the first one. And I feel the one you don't take, intuitively, you're drawn to take the right one for you. And when you look back, you may actually just research the company that you turned down and said, no, I don't want that role. You may find that actually they're not doing so good, or that they suddenly close, or they're closing branches, or something connected to that. But I feel intuitively you picked the right job and you are glad that you didn't take the other one, but you may hear something, shocking about it, that you're sort of grateful that you didn't connect to it. Okay. Now, again, really interesting. I pulled another card from a full deck, and you got another major arcana card. So January and February are big months for you. Now, this card, it doesn't have to be negative. I want you to be aware of that. It could literally mean that you're turning your house upside down. You're doing some renovation. It could mean that there's going to be like a little bit of conflict and noise because you're doing some DIY. It could also indicate that if you're trying to focus on something, that is time sensitive. It could mean that there are some distractions there. It could be like noise outside, for example. Perhaps they're doing demolition on a building outside. It could be something that perhaps is, trying to distract you. But ultimately, I feel this card is you promising yourself to come out of your comfort zone, because these two figures, they're in a tower. The tower is comfortable. The tower is when we get into a period in our lives where we feel comfortable. We've achieved something that we want. We've got to that plateau phase where we're like, that's nice, but now we're getting a bit antsy. What else? So when the frequencies change, because the lightning bolt is literally a higher frequency, it hits the crown chakra. You know that something needs to be done, or you knew that something should have happened, and you either heeded the calling or you didn't. So as you can see, the two figures, one is falling backwards because they were taken unawares, and the other one is falling forwards because they were aware and they're just launching it. So it could be that, suddenly you launch a business. Suddenly, whatever it is, it seems to be successful because you've got like a chariot card there. It can indicate also that you have a big decision to make that you're going to shock a lot of people with, and you're making it based on who you are and what you want. The tower could also indicate that like there's a major bill or something that breaks down. Okay, I got to be honest with you. The tower, it is a card that literally means surprise, and you got two cards that mean surprise in January and February. Wheel of Fortune is a really auspicious surprise. The Tower, it doesn't mean it's a negative surprise, but it can indicate something needs a restructure or needs your attention, or happens that surprises you, takes you unawares, as it were, and you have to rebuild. It's really important to recognize that the Tower, you rebuild after it, okay? Stronger and bigger and better than ever before. And I mean, it could be that if you run a company, for example, suddenly, if you have people working for you, suddenly someone gives in their notice and they're leaving. Or perhaps you're leaving a place. Suddenly you give in your notice because you've got a new job opportunity, for example. Or suddenly you may decide to leave a neighborhood. Whatever it is, it's sudden, and I feel that you move on from it, whatever it is. It could also be an epiphany, a realization that you've been accepting something for a long time, and it's about time you cut it out. You're not about wasting your time or allowing anyone to waste your time. And February is a critical month where you say enough. You draw a line in the sand, okay? Now, the Tower only comes after the Devil card. The Devil card is where we're feeling stuck or isolated or feel in fear. And, the Tower can indicate there that you are either releasing yourself from a fear or facing it head on, or breaking down something that perhaps has, held you back in some way. I feel like you're breaking out of a comfort zone and you release yourself. Everything comes full circle in the month of March for you, and it's super positive. What else am I getting there on the Tower before I move away from it? I mean, it could also indicate that, it's a very busy month. There could be some chaos around you, but you've got the card of discipline as your main card, which means that you are unflappable. You are not going to be derailed from your plans. You're focused, you're brainstorming. You have keys there, which means doors are opening up for you that perhaps haven't opened before. Could also be that, it's a period where situations are vulnerable. This year we're going to see a lot of perhaps redundancies or companies that are closing certain branches, for example. Now, I don't see that happening to you because of the cards that are ahead of you. It feels very much like these could be things that you're witnessing or things that you are realizing, but because you've got the Chariot card there, I feel like you're very ambitious, you're moving forward in that, and there's triumph for you. But the Tower can indicate it may shock you, may make you feel nervous, may make you feel like things are a little bit shaky in the industry, but I feel like you are, moving on up. It could also be a month where in the world we see some sort of major earthquake activity because of that Tower energy, okay? So I would say on a personal level, first 2 months of the year, big months for you for change. You may do some DIY work, sort of restructure, declutter, detoxify, and you're going to see the payoff of those decisions, and you're going to create a sanctuary that feels even better before. And of course, your home is your temple, but so is your body. So I feel like you're applying that across the board. Now, as we move into March, we have a really positive card. I feel like you're a lot more sociable this month. First 2 months, I feel like you're a little bit more kind of like insular, soul searching, and focusing on your projects, okay, without distraction, as it were. So it doesn't mean that you're not going out and about and doing things, but I feel like you're a little bit more focused and diligent on, your plans. And as we move into March, I feel this is about you going out there, connecting to more people. You may even have an invite to a reunion for some group of people. Could be a college reunion, could be, an old work reunion, could also be a friend that you haven't seen for a while. I'm getting strong reunion vibes in this month here. It's number 44, so it's a very powerful number. It basically indicates that all the compartments of your life that you're working on start to come together. Everything is feeling like, there's growth there, there's positivity. I would say your money increases in this month, especially in the cusp period between March and April. There's more money for you there. Now, also, I feel this could be a big month of travel, okay? Whenever you get anything with the world in it, it tends to mean you're either thinking about relocating to a different part of the world, or it can indicate that you are emigrating or that you are wanting to, be more nomadic. If you're an entrepreneur, it could be that you want to actually travel and work at the same time. Maybe you're setting up structures in terms of your company. This could be also that you are currently getting ready to launch something and, it will go global. If you're a social media person on a platform, it could be that you go viral or more people see what you are about. This is about having links more internationally in this month as well. If you work for a company, it could also be that someone from overseas is visiting and there's a flurry of activity there. This is a very goal-oriented month for you. So I definitely see a lot of productivity going on, but also it indicates, that, you have an energy of synergy. You're aware of what needs to be done. Your life is fully in the flow. There's stability in your job, in your money. If you're retired, for example, it could be that you're traveling in this month and you're seeing that your finances are stable. It could also indicate that there's a family energy of people gathering, okay? But I feel this is a card of being more in community. So it could be that you do some sort of hobby or book some sort of course of learning that actually brings people together in the field that you're wanting to learn more about. Doesn't have to mean that you're upskilling. It can be that you're actually doing something that really sets your soul ablaze. A very passionate time. It could be like a 6-week course or something, or maybe even some of you are thinking about doing something bigger like a master's degree, or I feel there's a lot of new knowledge available to you in this month. But I also feel that historical places call to you in this month. So it could be that you take a few quick trips or somewhere where there is a very rich history, a lot of culture there. I feel there's an energy of completing a cycle as well in that month. So it could be that something fully comes to an end, whether it's a contract or whether it is, a cycle emotionally that you've been dealing with. It feels like there's a fresh new start. It almost feels like, I know you're busy in February and that things are fully in the flow, but I feel like your real fresh new start kind of is in April, okay? There's something big happening in April for you where you are inspired, you're go-getting, and, but coming back to March there, we've got the Strength card there, and we've got the Emperor. So really strict with your time. I would say that very family-oriented time as well there. The Emperor basically means that you're being strict with yourself. You've got structure. Everything is coming together as planned. You're fully in the flow. Structure works really well for you in this month, and you are being bold and daring. But also, the Emperor energy indicates you're serious about your goals. You're keeping, an eye on your budgets, for example. I would say, as I said earlier, this is a big month for, a promotion if you're looking for one, because this is a position of authority. This is you stepping into a role that has more responsibility, but more money with it. And it shows that you are a real powerhouse. But also, this card can indicate that you're protecting everything that you're working for, maintaining your position, keeping your finances running smoothly. For some of you, especially since it's a cusp month with February, and we just saw like the Chariot card and the Tower, I would say just be a little bit mindful of speed during this time, especially if you drive a car. There could be a fine there for speeding, and it could be in a zone where you don't realize the speed limit. Okay, of course we need to be mindful of our surroundings, but it could be that you get to contest it because it was not clearly signposted. So I just feel there's an energy of you contesting something. The lion is like standing up to authority because the emperor can represent an establishment or a governing body, but please apply it to your circumstances. That's what I see. For some of you, it could be that, you're standing up to your boss on something, or you're standing up to your neighbor on something, or maybe a family member and saying, no, enough. It stops here. I've had enough of this. So I really feel there's an energy of you being very empowered. This is a big month for you in terms of your energy. I feel like you are fully in control of your life, and I feel things are looking up for you as well there. Now, of course, let me just pop that back there too. The Emperor card is about achievement. So it doesn't have to be about promotion. It can be that you are quietening the inner critic. It can be that you're more in control of your emotions. The Emperor is very stoical. It can be that, yes, there's a lot of chaos around you in your neighborhood or your industry or, with your friends, for example, but you are the quiet in the storm. Everything is happening around you and it's not affecting you, is what I see there. There's a real peacefulness and synergy there too. Now, as we move into April, this is a majorly creative month. Inspired, you're taking action, you're fully in the flow. This is you shining your light. This is you being appreciated. It's about you being seen for what you do. I would say I'm getting strong star energy this month for you in April. So it could be that this would be the month that if you're trying to be in the public eye, for example, you could be famous, or maybe your reputation increases in something. Maybe you're asked to kind of figurehead something in the neighborhood, or you're asked to do something where you're in charge of something too. It says ignition fire, so it almost feels like if you're launching something and it's at the beginning of the year, it really takes off in April. Things are like moving on up. And again, I'm seeing lots of arrows around you for this month, which means ambition, means drive, it means being on target with your projects. It's number 8. 8 is the number of the self, okay, but it's also an infinity sign, which means that you have infinite resources available to you: money, energy, flow, focused, ambition, and I feel this is an exciting month for you there as well. Now, of course, this is about you living your passions. This is a big month for you to drive forward on something. You're not overthinking any situations. This is you innovating your life, taking action, and almost like inspiring others as well. If you're a creative, this would be a great month where you are not just dedicated to your practice, but also it could be you get a publishing deal, or you get like an exhibition. People are watching your work, seeing stuff. I'm really getting an energy here of you being at the top of whatever it is that you do. But also, it says ignition fire. So if you're looking for love, strong months for love for you this year would be January, of course, February, and also we've got April, and I would say October as well. Doesn't mean you can't meet love or a relationship in the other months. These are the strongest energies for you to tap in and find an attraction. So this is you like reigniting your spark, your lust for life. This is you seeing that life is running smoothly for you and you're hitting targets. But also it indicates that, there could be like a very passionate frisson during this month, an energy of chemistry with you and a person. But also, this month, randomly, I'm being given as well that you are being like an explorer in the kitchen. So it could be that I'm just being given this energy that like cooking is like science, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, let's see how it goes. So very explorative. So you could like be in the flow of like doing new recipes, and that's so random, but yeah, that's what's coming out there. In terms of energy, you're on a high, okay? Some of you, especially since there's a lot of hot energy here, some of you on a personal level could be going through the menopause, for example, and you're trying to control your symptoms. So I feel, let's see what this one is, the Judgment card. I would say, yeah, you may get an important call if you're trying to manage kind of menopause symptoms. It could be that you get some really great advice in the month of March that starts to really kind of like manage symptoms. If you're going through something health related that is not menopause, of course, it could be that you get some really great great advice from a consultant in the month of March that really affects you in April, and you just feel so much better for it. That's what's coming through there as well. I mean, you've got two major arcanas for this one. We've got the Sun card, which means, you know, you're really happy, you're blossoming, but also the Judgment card, you're fully connected to your sense of purpose, you are on a mission. I feel like for some of you, this could be that you're having a self-evaluation period during this time as well. It's like, you know, when you get to a plateau and you think to yourself, okay, I'm on a high, this is great, where to next? So I feel like you could be kind of making a major decision in the month of April there for you. I mean, the Judgment card indicates that you are renewed. There's a rebirth of energy, and I feel you could get a very important call in the month. I feel it's a call, a phone call, okay, in the month of April there too. Let's just clarify that a little bit more. I mean, the Sun card indicates you're being super positive, and you know, you're deciding only to go where you feel happy, and that's freeing in itself. So we have the Justice card, and we have the Knight of Wands. Very creative time. Okay, so a lot of light in and around the month of April for you. This card, it indicates that you're ready for new adventures. I feel there could be lots of quick trips in this period, you know, going to galleries, art, theater, poetry nights, friends, you know, barbecues, things like that. That's what's coming out there. I also feel this energy of like things picking up pace, having an unstoppable spirit that you can achieve all you desire. This is also, you know, you being brainstorming and having lots of wonderful ideas to take things to the next level. And I really feel that your visions are becoming your reality. You're headstrong, you're determined, you're independent. I mean, a lot of you, if you're setting up your own business this year, I would say that you're fully in the flow of being an entrepreneur. Some of you may also, you know, if you're working for a company, for example, or if you're currently out of work, it could be that you decide to do something, launch something, and, you know, you become an entrepreneur. And this would be a great month for that as well. There's so much success around you there. Some of you may be literally setting up legal structures in terms of company, or diversifying your assets, finding out legally how to do something. You know, the Justice card indicates you're keeping life harmonized and in balance. A little bit of work of whatever it is that you're doing, but also fun, socializing, you know, seeking new adventures. It's a very exciting time when you've got the Knight of Wands. It means you're goal-oriented. It means that you're stepping up. You may even embrace like a new style this month, something flamboyant, a little bit more colorful as an addition to your wardrobe. You are having a glow up this month as well. So you're going to attract a lot of attention. So it's a strong month to, you know, meet someone new if you're looking for someone new, but also it's more than that. You know, I feel there's an energy here of you kind of like romance in your life, or flirting with life again, you know, all the wonderful things that bring you joy. It's a lighter energy there. But you're not forgetting about your responsibilities. I feel also important documents in and around the month of April too. This could be a month where you sign contracts, especially getting like a promotion the month before or on the cusp. I would feel there's an energy here of make sure that you do your due diligence, check all contracts that you sign, just in case there's any fine print that you kind of like are not happy with. I mean, I don't see anything there. The month seems to give you what you desire, that you worked hard for. There's good karma here. And because we've got the Sun there and the Judgment, you'll be weighing up your options, but I feel everything in the contract, you know, it's open to be seen. I don't think there's anything hidden there that you wouldn't be available to see, or it wouldn't be available to see, shall we say. Now also, this is about you influencing your life. You know, I feel like you're making some adjustments during this period. So although you're on course, I feel like you are being flexible to change with this card. I also see with the Judgment and the Justice card that you may be self-analyzing like your position, like you've got to a certain level and you're on a high, and it just feels like maintaining and sustaining that. But also I feel on a personal level, there's an energy here of you trying to tap into your higher self is what I'm being given. You may notice that you actually have a lot of psychic flashes during this month, but you may second guess yourself. Because the Judgment card and the Justice card, it can indicate that you're having psychic flashes or you're having like moments of calling, but the logical side of yourself is like, is that a sign? Is that, or is that just me like wanting that to be a sign? I want you to be aware it's a sign. You're going to see lots of numerical synchronicity in this month of April, and take it as a sign, okay? Now, of course, for some of you, there could be some legal things going on in this month, not just documentation, but for some of you, it could be that you are getting compensation on something, or if you're dealing with someone's estate, I feel this could come to a close during this month, and I feel, you know, there could be some money coming through there as well. You get what is right for you is what I'm being given. I would say also, you know, this is a strong month for flirting. So if you're not looking for a high-level commitment, I feel there is a potential for you to meet someone who you just vibe with, that there is kind of like a connection, but ultimately, you know, with the Knight of Wands there, it's fleeting. So I feel you could get a really great compliment during this time, or there's a flirtation, a will they, won't they kind of energy. But I would say, you know, be measured in this, because I feel there could be something that is like passing through energy. So I just want you to be aware of that. If you're looking for love and you meet someone in the month of April, I feel there's definitely a spark, there's definitely a connection, but I wouldn't rush into anything, because this person, you know, they may actually tell you that they're not looking for anything serious at first. Now, that's not to say that it won't happen eventually, but take them at their word right at the beginning. I feel this person will catch feelings. However, you know, be mindful of your heart. Don't rush into things. You know, you have a choice as well, my beautiful Virgo, okay? Now, as we move into the month of May, we've got a little bit of a darker energy. So I feel this is about replenishing. I feel this is your like happy hump month in the year, as it were, where you withdraw into self, where you look at, you know, the shadow self, for example, or you just dim your light a little bit in order to replenish your energy. So you could go off grid during this time. I feel, you know, high intensity energy months have led you to feel a little bit exhausted in this month. Doesn't mean that you're burnt out. It just means that you're poodling around your home, for example, doing things for you, taking a couple of cozy days off, for example. You know, this card, it's number 7, so that means you're still making progress. It's Chariot card energy, so I feel like you're still dedicated and committed, but it can indicate that you're like working off grid or from the sidelines. You go a little bit quiet during this time. You withdraw into self a little bit more. Now, of course, this card can indicate there's a cycle to everything. So I feel like you've pushed yourself hard throughout the year. Things have been with you, and suddenly the energy just feels a little bit, not against you, but it just feels a little heavier there. So I would say this is a time to withdraw. Some of you may actually, you know, do a lot of soul searching in this month, a lot of deep philosophical thinking about your path, whether you're truly happy. It's kind of like you checking in to see if you're on target, okay? I mean, this is a month where you could feel a little bit more sensitive, where some really deep emotions come up, where you're looking at how hard you're like running your life and how successful you're being, but at the same time, you're asking yourself, is it fulfilling? Is there a missing ingredient? You know, we've also got a Tower in this month as well. So this could be something that perhaps you are a little bit sad about. When it comes to the Tower, I mean, it could be that something will never be the same again. Okay, it could be a friendship, could be a relationship, could be a neighborhood, could also be connected to something you experienced in the beginning of the year, but you've just decided to step up and just sort of breeze on through and be like, you know what, I'm not allowing it to affect me. But when you get to the month of May, suddenly it's back on your mind again. You've got time to take stock of it, to really sit with it and think, wow, that's really changed my perspective of that person, or that's really changed my life. You know, the Tower is a radical restructure of life, and it's you rebuilding in a certain way. So it could be that you're moving on without a friendship, maybe you're evolving away from something, or perhaps it can indicate that, you know, you are coming out of your comfort zone throughout the year so far, and then suddenly you just feel like you're at a transformational point where you feel a little bit like, you know, withdrawing. The Tower is to isolate oneself or to be distant from like people. Maybe it's too people-y and you decide to go inwards. Again, I've mentioned already, it doesn't have to be like a shocking moment. It can be you have a personal kind of revelation about yourself and how you've changed and how you've stepped up. It could be that, you know, you've worked so hard throughout your life, that suddenly you've got to such a pinnacle point where you've set your soul on fire and things are looking great. And then you take stock of how hard it was to get here in the first place. So it can be like a revelatory moment where you see how strong you are. Towers can be an indication that you are a pillar of strength, that, you know, you stand out from the crowd. And it's really hard to stand out in your field and you're exhausted, but you got there. And there's a legacy point here as well. You know, the Tower is also an energy of like tension. So I would say that protect your energy in this month from people who are a little bit critical or people who are a little bit negative. I would say also that, you know, this could be a month where you feel the pressure has been on a little bit and you just need to release the pressure, whether that's like taking a day at a spa, if you're lucky enough to have that. For some of you, I'm just going to pull some more cards on that card for you, because the Tower is to like isolate, or, you know, maybe you work from home, or perhaps just be by yourself, really deep thinking about life. There's two butterflies there. They've exited the Tower, which is on fire. You know, the universe comes along and sets the Tower ablaze. Remember, I said sometimes we create a level in our life that we get used to. It's like a plateau, a glass ceiling in our lives, and we feel, okay, we're nice, we're comfortable, we've got a tower. But then suddenly that tower becomes a prison. We're like, oh, we're locked into a cycle of repeat. Things are boring. Things are dull. We got to a routine. Now, where do we change? So the butterflies represent change. And as you can see, if we do not change, the universe will send that lightning bolt to make sure that things change for your benefit. I've been sent many a tower in the past, and at the time, I could not see how the complete refiguring of my life was going to help me. But if I could go back to that point, I would absolutely say it was for the best. So it could be a pinnacle revelation point where you're like, you know what, that tower, it did me a favor. This could also be that suddenly you're noticed by, you know, a gallery, a manager, or a boss, or a person who means something to you, and now you are set up in a really great position in April, and then suddenly the darker thoughts come in like, oh my gosh, okay, I've got this great manager, or my work is being seen around the world. People are going to either love it or hate it. They're going to be critiquing it, or it could be that you feel a bit nervous or a little bit insular, a little bit shy about, you know, it's like protective energy. So it can come off the back of something really great that now you have to maintain a certain level. Remember, you're getting to Emperor energy in and around March and April. So it's like now maintaining that level, and you may feel a little bit nervous. You know, when you accomplish something, people start to get fearful, like, can I continue it? Will it crumble? Will it fail? And I feel actually the answer is no. Okay, look at that. Knight of Pentacles, Three of Pentacles. This is, you know, an energy where you may be like protecting your finances because the Pentacles have come out there. I would also say you're protecting your energy levels and your health at this time. Big month to convalesce, to really take stock of things. I would also say protecting your mental peace during this time as well. There will be darker thoughts. That's human nature. But, you know, all things move quickly. You know, this too shall change. So I feel this too shall pass, whatever it is that you're going through during this month. But the Three of Pentacles, it's your plans. It means you're engineering a plan. So you could take a little bit of time off grid in order to refocus. This is you being very talented. People are talking about you, perhaps about your endeavors. As you can see, there's three people there. Two of them are discussing this person who's on a pedestal. And I feel like you're on a pedestal there in March and April. So I feel this is about maintaining your position. People kind of like talking about you, critiquing you perhaps, and you may feel a bit like nervous or vulnerable being in the spotlight. It's hard sometimes, but the Three of Pentacles, it basically means that you're dedicated to collaborating, you know, with the people around you to make things work. This could be your family. It could be that you're all pooling money in together to do something that's going to make a major impact on your life. Suddenly you could decide to change where you live because we have motion air. It could be that suddenly you decide to move somewhere else. I would also say, because we've got the Knight of Pentacles there, I would say that you're stable in this month. There's nothing major going on that is going to rock your foundation. That's what I feel truly there. But also it could be that there's someone that surprises you, because there's 3 people there. So it could be some gossip that comes your way, or it could be something that you're told that really shocks you, but you know, you're sticking to your morals. You're doing what you feel is right for you. And in terms of money, I would say that you work hard for your money, you're persevering. I feel like there could be potentially a shock bill, but I keep getting this energy that if you get a shock bill on something this month, unless it's to do with a car, which is repair work, okay? I feel like anything else outside of that, it feels like you get compensated. You may talk to like a third party or a governing body to help you get your money back, is what I see there. For some of you, it could be that a company takes money early in this month and you're like, hey, I was not expecting that. We have a deal. We have a contract that says you take a direct debit on this date of the month, and you took it before, which means you've breached contract. So that can indicate that you're getting your money back there too. You know, the Knight of Pentacles, something is actually offered to you that is stable. You know, it's you seeing that your dedication is paying off and that you're determined to keep moving forward. But the 3 of Pentacles can indicate that you diversify, or you look to someone who's doing something similar to you, but maybe getting more money than you, and you may be actually deciding to do more of that, but putting your own unique spin on it. So, you know, it's a very grounded month. So I feel like you're focusing on your health, your finances, productivity, maintaining stuff, okay, and protecting your assets. I mean, if you do have acquisitions, I don't know anything about stock market, but I feel because there's a tower there and there's a darkness card there, if you have something personal there, you could see a wobble in your finances. You know, you've got a 3 of Pentacles, but then a Knight of Pentacles. So it can indicate that, you know, there's a little bit of, you know, a wobble where it fluctuates, go a little bit down, but then it plateaus to a certain level that is sustainable. Okay, so that's coming out there. I don't give financial advice. I don't know anything about it, so always seek financial advice. But as we move into the month of June here, things really pick up pace. So whatever it is, as you can see, these horses, they're coming out of a turbulent energy. So it could be some difficult emotions that you're dealing with, but whatever it is that is a little bit difficult, I'm not going to lie to you, something feels a little bit kind of like, you know, insular in this month. You're very deep thinking. I feel like you're protected and stable in this month, but I feel like you may be just doing some ruminating on something that perhaps has been challenging for you. But these horses, they're coming out of that cloud, which means you're rising up, you're moving forward, and you're at pace. So big, heavy month for you where I think things are making progress. Could also be that you have a test. I'm just being given this by my guide. Some of you, if you are perhaps going for a driving test, or perhaps you are going for some sort of course test where you reach to the next level, you could feel a little bit vulnerable, like you don't know how you did, for example. But in the following month, you're going to see that actually you did really well and you're moving forward at pace. Now, this is motion air. So where there's a stagnancy in the month of May there, I feel it could indicate that, you know, perhaps services are at a lull, or it can indicate that, you know, you want to move forward on a project, but someone's on a vacation and you can't. So it can mean that things outside of yourself can't move forward as quickly as you want, so you have to like hold tight on something in the month of May. But as you move into June, everything is moving forward and at pace. Now, this card, of course, it is number 22, which is a master number. So this is another big month for you. This month, it feels very much like you're very productive, of course. You're on course as well, is what I'm being given. And I feel there is an energy of you being able to move and choose as you please. I feel like you're being very resourceful. This is also a month where you vocalize something. So it could be a very important conversation with someone. If you're seeing someone in a new light the month before, it could indicate that you have a conversation which clears the air, because these horses are kind of like coming out into clearer air there as well. And of course, I really get an energy here of you feeling free. Okay, being mindful of how you communicate to have your needs met, and, you know, articulating your needs in a healthy way. But horses, they always represent movement forward, progress. So for some of you, it could literally mean that you're going horse riding, for example, but I feel it's more about this rising up, this tenacity, your energy levels coming back to the fore. Standing up for what you believe in is what I just heard as well. So it could be that, you know, whether it's a conversation with a family member or neighbor or someone who has relevance in your life. It could be that you're standing your ground on something. And I did mention like compensation. So it could be that you're standing your ground on something to be compensated for you. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide High Priestess? So this is the Virgo energy, of course. A very cerebral month for you. Air, of course, we've got motion, air. So a lot of you, especially if you're in an industry where you work online, I feel it's going to be very beneficial for you. You're going to see a lot of progress this month, especially in terms of your finances as it ticks over into the following month. I would say major increase as you move into July for you financially, and August actually. Big months for money, those two. But I feel this is about, you know, focusing on your mission, your life's purpose, and I feel connecting to your higher self, your higher wisdom. Interesting, because I would have thought that the month before you were doing a lot more soul searching, but I feel this is about you blossoming through the answers that you discover during the month before. Temperance card is harmony. Things getting back into pace. You're turning one thing into another in this month, and it feels like you have all the ingredients to do that. The High Priestess can also indicate that you feel a little bit in between worlds. And what I mean by that is, you know, that you are kind of like watching yourself outgrow the old you. So you may feel that, you know, you have one foot in the old you and one foot in the new you, and it just feels like you're trying to make adjustments in order to fully step into the new version of you. Because I feel a lot is changing this year, but most importantly, your mindset is changing there as well. So I also feel that this is a period for you to kind of like keep things at a level where you are prioritizing what's important and what is necessary in your life, and you know, everything in moderation in this month, because I feel it is a fast-paced month. You're galloping towards a finishing line of something. So whether it's something you went off grid to do in the month before that you needed to focus on, I feel like you're up and running again and you're moving at pace. So let me just quickly pull a card on that energy. I mean, because the High Priestess showed up for that month, you know, the High Priestess is mute. So it can indicate that you're working on something, transforming something, whether it's your body, mind, soul, or your neighborhood, or, you know, I feel a lot of you could be actually moving in this month as well. So it could be a big upheaval period in the middle of the year if you're thinking about moving to a different neighborhood or even a different country for some of you. But, you know, the High Priestess can represent a level of caution. You know, you're trying to do something maybe new and maverick, and you're a little bit hesitant to see how it's going to go, but I feel it's very, very successful. You can tell by the month's card next. Okay, you can tell by, yeah, look at that Wheel of Fortune there, and we also have the Knight of Cups. This is actually a big month here where I feel you could, especially if you met someone in April, I feel this could be that you're unsure as to how the relationship is going in May. As I said, it seems like a flirtation, like a, you know, here today, gone tomorrow kind of thing. But I feel if you're looking for love, this could be like you and this person revisiting each other and discovering actually there are deeper feelings here. You're going deeper. For some of you, I also feel this energy of, you know, really focusing on your relationships and also deepening your love relationships. Big conversation this year in terms of couples discussing where they feel like they truly belong, okay? I feel like you're moving forward in a relationship. That's what I'm getting here. But also the Knight of Cups indicates that you are learning more about yourself. You know, this is a call to have faith, but also to fall in love with your life. And something is offered to you here that you grab with both hands. I feel this is a card that highlights you can have what you desire, okay? And what is meant for you will never pass you by. So I feel perhaps the month before you may have felt something wasn't going your way, or you had a setback, for example, but the universe is stepping in to support you and give you what you need in this month, and you're going to love it. Knight of Cups is you're following your bliss. Wheel of Fortune is a successful outcome, but also it's a surprise. It's good luck. So I would say plot twist month for you. I would feel there's an energy of flexibility. It's about speaking your intentions to the people around you, but also to the universe, and knowing that they will be delivered, okay? So even another major arcana is coming out in a full deck. So this is a big year for you, about turning your life around, about being very successful, doing what you love, getting the right opportunities. And of course, as we move into the month of July there, we've got home. So some of you, there could be some big changes going on in your home space, whether it is, you know, doing some major renovations for some of you, and finally it's settled and everything's fixed and ready to fully inhabit, or whether it is you actually going to a new house. Okay, home basically doesn't have to also be an apartment or a house. It can be that you feel at home within yourself, that you're maturing, that something is working really well for you right now, and that you just feel that you've reached a level of attainment in your life that you feel this is where you need to be. I feel you're getting out into nature a lot more in this month. This is where I see you going to festivals, being very sociable as well. It says home, earth, but I feel this is more about earthier energies, you focusing on health, peace of mind, but also I feel there's more money available to you. So it could be that your savings plans are on target and you see that, you know, you're saving a lot and you feel really proud of yourself. It's actually wanting to kind of like inspire you to do more and save more. But also it can be that, you know, you are feeling at home in your environment or with the people around you, feeling like where you belong, right? I mean, it's number 15, so that is kind of like the devil card energy. So that can indicate, you know, that you're connecting to your lust for life, but also it can indicate that, you know, you've been feeling stuck for a while, but now you've come home to yourself, or you feel more yourself than you have for a long time. You know, this card, it actually is a very prominent card that indicates that, you know, you're grounding yourself this month. It could be that potentially there is a temptation in this month to fall back on whatever it is you cut out in the beginning of the year. There's a slight temptation there, but I feel like you choose the healthier option and you do not it's like you resist the temptation. You do not go back to that. Now, this card also indicates that you're taking a positive approach to the world. So some of you could actually do some charity work during this time, or if you're in training to do some sort of marathon or charitable event, this could be the month where you do it and you get some money in there for that charity, or maybe you actually just give to charity there. But also I feel you're paying attention to your body. You know, your body is your first home. So, well, the womb is your first home. Your mother's body is the first home, of course, but then you have your home, which is your body. So you're paying a lot of attention to your body there. I would say hydration. Pay close attention to hydration this month. That's coming through there strongly. I feel like you're focusing on the food substances that you purchase or buy or grow. A lot of you could be growing your own food. And if that's the case, this is big harvest month for you, where you see that actually you got a nice crop. Okay, so that's coming through there as well. The Lover's card and the Empress. Okay, so if you're meeting a high-level commitment, as I said, round about the March-April period, or just at the beginning of the year, but things start to really get a bit intense, and then there's this darker period where you could like withdraw to really think about whether this is your person or whether, you know, they're displaying traits of, you know, a high-level commitment. I feel you could actually make a commitment to this person fully, like put a label on it in this month. Okay, the Empress energy indicates that you are fully like connected to nature. You're birthing new ideas. I feel that you are choosing to nurture yourself in new ways, and you know, something that you love has shown up for you as well, something you've been wishing for, working towards. It's an earthy energy, which means you made an effort to make it happen, and it has, and you feel really good about yourself. For a lot of you, it could be that you're moving to the countryside. Okay, I'm seeing that there. And if you're pregnant and expecting in and around this date, I feel like, of course, for some of you, it could be twins. But if not, if you know it's not twins, I feel an energy of like giving birth in this month as well. So I feel like your heart is bursting with joy. But be mindful, you know, this is like an Empress energy. So this indicates that you are glowing, you are literally very attractive, you're turning heads, getting a lot of attention in terms of people and, you know, your career as well. So I feel very fertile time. And this is an increase in money. This is a card of prosperity. Something that you're manifesting comes towards you, and it's very prosperous indeed. So, you know, if you are getting a promotion, I would say this is where you really establish yourself as being someone who's highly creative. I feel like you are making waves in whatever it is that you're doing there as well. You'll also pay close attention to more beauty routines during this month. My readings are not about aesthetics, but I'm getting an energy of like perhaps finding an alternative product or finding something that feels really good. Some of you, I'm getting an energy of like a massage, or I'm getting 2 months where it's like spa energy. So that could be like in May, for example, when you withdraw. But I feel like getting massages or just paying attention to facials, things like that, or just your routine. It doesn't have to be that you're running out to treat yourself there. We've got another tower energy. Okay, I don't know, you're getting major arcanas from a whole deck. This is a big year, but some things are changing, and I feel like you're just coming out of your comfort zone, and the cards that are there are positive. Whatever these changes are, you may shock a lot of people. Now, whether that's a shock like suddenly you get pregnant, if you have the ability to get pregnant, or it could be that like suddenly people see your new look and they're like, wow, you look amazing. It could also be that suddenly, something that you love, have been yearning for, that your heart has been yearning to accomplish or achieve, suddenly it's delivered. Because this is the law of attraction card. And this is the card that indicates you're really comfortable, you've done really hard work, something you've been, nurturing for a long time is basically coming into being and paying off. And the tower is like all change. So I feel, there is, I'm going to pull one more just to see what that tower is about, because it's showing up a couple of times. But it could be that like, because we have Empress energy and it's a lot of fertile energy in the card, it could be that you hear shocking news that a friend is pregnant, or it could be that you hear shock news that your friend who's been single for a long time suddenly has a relationship, or something's offered to you. Yeah, it's something positive. The tower is not like a negative shock. It can be like a surprise, but a need to restructure. So I would say that in terms of your finances, something's offered to you and maybe you have to make a decision. The Lover's card is a choice. So it's like you have to make a decision that benefits you, and it came along by surprise. So it could be that although you're doing really well in your career, it could be that someone headhunts you during this month, or suddenly you're offered something else. Suddenly you may give it in your notice because you have another opportunity. Could also be that perhaps that you hear of someone exiting something. I mean, this would also be a major month where we could see, seismic activity. There's certain months in the year where I feel are vulnerable to this energy, and I would keep in mind like March, April, July, August, and the eclipse season right at the end of the year. That's something to keep an eye on. But in terms of personal energy, I feel something shocks you. There's a bit of a surprise. It could be information you're given, but I feel a lot of you could also get a shock gift in this month. Someone gives you a gift, and whether you're in a relationship or not, I could see this energy coming through of a token of affection coming from someone, perhaps even outside of your relationship. But I feel like, you're leading with that justice energy, so I feel like you do the right thing. Okay, that's coming through there, but it could be someone who kind of like is flirting with you or pays you maybe unwanted attention because of the tower energy, but I feel you could get a gift in this month. I mean, we're not even coming into your birthday season, so it's not for your birthday is what I'm being given there, okay? I would say also there could be a small increase in your finances this month as well. If you're an entrepreneur, I feel this is you getting more money, more fortune, because the Ace of Pentacles indicates, more finances there, success, of course, but it could be that you launch something that, of course, again, goes global, or that you see an increase on something, you diversify in some way. You may even set up that legal structure in a different country during this time. Now, as we go into the month of August, we've got growth, plants, something a little bit more stable, more earthy kind of energy in and around the middle of the year for you. This is number 19, and the sun, although it's number 6 in this deck, the number of the sun in the usual decks are number 19. So I feel like you're really proud of yourself. This is a card of pride. It's a card of knowing that you've worked really hard and that things are stable, and, that you're really invested in yourself and your goals, and you're really proud. So this card, of course, number 19, it feels like you're happy with yourself. But also, this is about discovering the magic in the everyday circumstances. You have taken something that was a start of something and you're making it into something bigger. So whether it is you're starting something in the month before or you've started something at the beginning of the year, I feel like you see that it is really taking shape, that things are working and you feel fulfilled in that. You know, there's accomplishment there. There is also an energy of totality is what I'm being given. Now, this card, it literally means from small things, large things grow. Okay, so it's like if you got that idea, begin it. It will become something so successful. But also in this month, I feel a lot of you could be looking at more alternative forms of like health or food. It could be that you're growing herbs, for example, or you're using herbs for healing in some way. It's a more organic kind of energy as well. Doesn't mean you're running off to buy organic food, for example, but it can indicate that you're called to nurture yourself with healthy products from the earth, shall we say. That's literally what the card means. But let's go and see a little bit more for you. Because I feel there's magic in what you turn your hand to this year. Now, this could be something that is personal to you. It can be like that you've been in the gym, on a diet, whatever it is. It could be that you're reshaping your body and you see that all that hard work throughout the year is finally like paying off so well and you just feel really super proud of yourself. But it could be a personal project. It could be that you, as I said, were doing DIY, or you have some sort of successful job that comes in. I would say, you know, there is a lot of success around you this year. Look, we've got the Hermit, which is, of course, the Virgo card. So that's about you focusing on yourself and, you know, really kind of like looking at how far you've come. And, of course, we've got the Force card, which is the Strength card. So that means basically that you have been a force to be reckoned with and that you did this all by yourself. Now, the Hermit can also indicate that you withdraw a little bit. You know, the Bear tends to represent perseverance on something, but a need for a little bit more inspiration. It can also indicate that you are quietly reflective during this month, taking stock of things. And, of course, you did something bold and daring, and now you may be feeling it's time to, reinvigorate your life in some way. So I would say that this is a great month for the self. Okay, and you may also face a fear during this month. I'm being given something bold and daring. Could be that if you're afraid of heights, you climb a mountain, for example, or if you're afraid of something, it could be that you really dissect it and really look at it. The Sun. Okay, it's no accident that you've got the Sun card, number 19. I did mention it. My guides will give you the exact card that you need for this month. A lot of growth, a lot of clarity, especially since you have the Hermit there. And I feel there's an energy of just feeling the joy in life. Some of you, you know, I feel a lot of nature energy in and around those 2 months. So some of you could seek a destination or book a destination for the Sun. Maybe even a little trip away as a treat to yourself, somewhere nice for your birthday season as you start to move out of August into September there as well. But I feel like you're shining your light as you come to the end of that month. It's all about you. All eyes are on you. I feel like you have a lot of energy there. And of course, when we get to the month of September, we've got inner core, solidity. So this is about peace of mind, conquering the inner critic. So I feel like you've done a lot of inner work by the time you get to September. But also, as you can see, it's like this shattered energy. So I feel like if you tend to feel a bit scattered, or you've had some sort of symptom that has made you feel like brain fog or felt a little bit like out of balance, I feel that you really get to the heart of the matter. So if it's something you've been dealing with in 2024, as you come into 2025, you're really going to conquer this, whatever it is. There's a dove right in the center there. Now, this card is number 18, which is moon card energy. So this could be something emotional. You may be transforming an emotion or the way you process emotions. You know, this is a card that indicates that you're staying constant in your endeavors despite scattered energy around you, despite chaos around you. You're maintaining an equilibrium there, and it's like you're not going to stop your progress. You know, nothing's getting in your way this year. I feel like you're keeping your promises to the people around you. You're keeping promises to yourself. And, you know, the greatest power is from your inside. Okay. And We live in a world that has many distractions, very loud ones, and I feel like you're realizing you're not just a human doing, you're a human being, but I feel like you really see what you've been capable of when you get to this month. I also feel this is a peaceful month for you. I feel there is a lot of like flapping around you, so it could be something going on in terms of world events that occur, but I feel like you are zooming into your projects and doing what you can, doing your bit, but at the same time I feel like you're focusing more on, you know, your inner peace, protecting yourself against pressure or overcommitting yourself. I feel like you're trying to keep a steadier pace this year so that you don't feel overwhelmed. Now, I do see that there is a potential to be a little bit busier in that month, but I do see you having a bit of a getaway. The Sun card. So, you know, as I said, it's all about you because, of course, we're going into your birthday season. This is like rebirth energy or birthing energy as well with the Sun. You know, whenever you think about your solar return, for example, this is like you kind of like honoring yourself, pampering yourself, really kind of embracing positivity. I also feel there's a lot of joy around you. Of course, you're going through an awakening as well, but I feel there's a lot of positivity and success around you. This card is all about success, but I feel like you're celebrating you at this time, and the things that you've been nurturing are really fully in bloom by this point. Also, I feel some of you may study during this month, or you may book yourself on a course of learning again. This could be a hobby month or maybe a creative month where you do something that really feels quite nice there. I'm just hearing the word gold, gold, gold. So either it's like a golden era, or perhaps you purchase something that is golden, or maybe, you know, in terms of acquisitions, if you are someone who's invested in gold, perhaps something happens to gold as a precious metal in and around that period. But I'm just hearing gold. Maybe, you know, you're gifted something that's gold there. Let's just pull one more card because it is your birthday season from August into September there. Thank you so much for it, guys. I'm being given that you're going to have a lot of raw energy. You are really like beautiful both inside and out. I feel like you're attractive. You're attracting a lot of attention. There's a lot of fun around you. A bit more socializing going on as well. Oh my gosh, you saw me shuffle the cards. My guys are like, look, we said the Sun, we meant the Sun. What more do you want? So again, we got the Sun, okay? So please pay attention to the synchronicities. You know, I shuffle the cards. I do not choose the cards for you. There is no sort of like sleight of hand or up the sleeve stuff because I'm like out there and showing you what I got. So my guides are saying, the Sun, we meant it. It's a happy time for you. It's about you shining your light, being enthusiastic. It's about joy. And it's about, you know, your inner child as well. Some of you may really sit with self and think about how you've grown and, you know, the things you experienced when you were younger and how you've got to now and how proud of yourself that you've been through a lot and you've been shaped by what you experienced. But now you're freer and now you own your time and your energy and you're confident and, you know, you're just taking charge of your life and you're a success of your life. So we move into the month of October. This is a fun month. Lots of joy, lots of going out, socializing. I'm seeing lots of parties around you during this month. So whether they are birthdays or celebrations or feast dates, I'm not really sure, but I've got a lot of parties and energy around this month for you. It literally says, speaking your word, voice. And there's a gramophone. And there's a person like, kind of like, trailblazing out of this gramophone. So it could be that you are creating something that people will listen to, but more than anything, I feel like you are listened to, really listened. Some of you are trying to transform perhaps your listening skills as well. Very important. We all have moments of distraction, especially since there could be a lot of distractions around you, but you're keeping an equilibrium and an inner peace there. But I feel like, you know, you're really listening to something. You're really listening to your heart. You know, this card, it can indicate that, you know, you are moving forward in some sort of personal project. So it could be that you're writing a book, for example, or you're publishing something, or you've got something online and people are paying more attention to it. It feels very much like you are also speaking up for what you believe in. So I would say this month you are telling your story, or you're in charge of the pen that is writing your story. Because remember, you are not like a side story in your life. You're not, you know, a support character. You are the lead. So I feel this is about you recognizing that you are the lead in your own story, okay? Also, I feel news comes here for you. I'm being given an energy of hearing something that you celebrate, brings you immense joy. It's something personal to you, not outside of yourself. Fool card. Now, the Fool card is all about potential, but it's also about that playful side. It's about being sociable. It's about friendships, about launching something. So if you're a musician, it could be that you're launching a new song, or perhaps you are tweaking your style, for example, or maybe your song gets more listens and you go a little bit more global, perhaps. It is a very creative time for you, but I feel there's a lot of launching yourself into things, new starts, new adventures. This card, it literally means that you have fresh new ideas and you're taking a chance. You're taking a gamble on something. You're taking a leap of faith. But it's like, again, that connection to the inner child. So I feel there could be some inner child work going on there as well. But if you see, this person's like diving on in, and it could be diving on in to romance your life, or to, something that brings you into a group of people where people hear your story, for example. This could be a prime month that if you're thinking about getting counseling for something as well, it could be that you join a group like that, or maybe you're becoming a counselor and you listen to people, perhaps. Or if you're in a career, it could be that you really listen to someone or form a very strong bond with someone where you listen to each other and, hash things out, for example. Queen of Pentacles. Now, this is a Virgo card. Of course, this could be like a new addition to your home space. So it could be a prime month where a pet adopts you, or vice versa, for example. Also, the Queen of Pentacles is like, you worked hard. There were some opportunities and you realized that you took every opportunity that came towards you. I feel like you're committed to your goals. You're down to earth. You're honest, hardworking. And I feel like you're using your resources wisely. And I feel there's an energy here of not just being practical, but also finding the balance to have fun there. For some of you, there's an energy of new money here, or transforming your finances. I also get an energy with the Queen of Pentacles. It indicates that you are generous. So I feel there's energy you could give a child some advice, or someone who's younger than you some advice about something, and it really helps them. But this is like being accomplished, not just materially, but rich. Rich in your hard work, rich in your soul, and rich in luxury. So it could be like home comforts, buying new additions for your home there. But also I feel a new friend. I feel a new friend is made in this month for you as well. And I feel this is a good month for your finances too, okay? But a lot of you could be launching something. Ultimately, this is you recognizing that, you gave 2025 your best shot. It's almost like a bit of a review period where you realize that, you've done everything to keep life running smoothly. And as we move into the month of November, we've got alchemy. Very magical month for you. This is a period where you feel things are like happening not just in your control, but also like miracles. Now, I don't really tend to talk about miracles, but there could be something showing up in this month where you've wished for it, but thought it was impossible. But suddenly magic happens and, it works out for you. But I feel this is a card that highlights, and this is literally what this card means. It's like magic can be found everywhere, but we must ground ourselves and really stop to notice it. Okay. And I feel it's very, very important like that. Like, for example, and I'm only giving you this example because it happened to me this morning at 3 a.m. I was awake, and of course, I looked up and I saw all the stars. I was like, wow, there's just so many stars right now. Normally you see like one or two twinkling, but where I am, there's a lot of light pollution, so it's really hard to see. And suddenly it was like a blanket of stars, and I could see all the planets. They're starting to shift into their alignment phase at the end of the month. Of course, we have that big planetary alignment going on. And, suddenly my guides played for me the Coldplay song. I think it's Coldplay, Stars. They really shine for you. And it was just this like symphony of music that I heard. And like, It was silent. But of course, I'm being given this by my guides. And it was just this overwhelming moment where I like cried tears of joy. And I was like, wow, what a magical moment. But it's like sometimes we have to stop and look at the magic that is around us, like the stars, for example. How often do I go from A to B, especially if I'm visiting a friend in the evening, coming home or whatever, to really stay up and look at the stars and see the majesty in the world around us. Sometimes we just don't have that luxury or that time. But there was a moment and it caught me off guard, and it was really wonderful and really brought me back to myself, to the vast infinity of the world, and that we are on a rock hurtling through space, and we put so much pressure on ourselves to accomplish so many things, and we must ground ourselves in the fact that we're doing the best that we can with the resources that we got, and there's so much outside of ourselves that is still yet unknown, and we have this quest for knowing ourselves a little bit deeper, which I feel definitely you're going to do. But also you're hitting a lot of milestones this year. But I feel November is a big month for you to really just take stock of how well you're doing, but also the magic that is around the world, okay? And also I feel there's an energy here, although I know the world is a very complex and conflicted place right now. There's a lot of chaos, but I feel there is an energy here of you acknowledging that you went for something, that you were bold and daring, and that you showed up for yourself in confidence. And, of course, everybody starts with a dream. And sometimes we think, well, what if it fails? But if you don't try it, you'll never know. So I feel that, you are eradicating doubt. I feel like doubt, of course, it destroys more dreams than failing ever does. And we never really fail. We learn how to tweak the plan or adjust the plan or approach it from a different way. The best minds of our time who created all the things around us that sometimes we take for granted, like light, light bulbs and things like that, electricity, all of those great minds, they didn't just wake up one morning with a eureka moment. They tried and it didn't work, and they tweaked it and they learnt more and they adjusted and they added and they took away, and then suddenly the eureka moment where they had the breakthrough. And I feel like this is a month where you really take stock of how many breakthroughs you've had and realize that you didn't give up on yourself, that you backed yourself this year, and you accomplished a lot. So let me just pull a card on that. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know about this month? Can you please guide them for their highest good? High Priestess, another Virgo card. So this can indicate that very cerebral month, an energy here where you're taking stock of things, where you're having faith, of course. This card is giving me an energy of having faith right now. A lot of wisdom. All that wisdom is within you. But also this is a card of mystery. It's like you turn your attention to something, you work hard for it. There's no guarantee that it's going to be successful or grow, but the mystery of the universe is the magic in itself, and the magic's within you. So this is you acknowledging that everything that was in you came out and it blossomed. You did this. So this is about you feeling really proud of yourself, that anything you turn your hand to, it really grew this year. So I'd say November is a great month for just taking stock of that. I will pull a quick card to see if there's any detailed energy coming out. Two of Swords, okay? Very insular energy, cerebral. Two of Swords is like an energy of deepened thought, taking a break to consider your options, think about what's next. No need to rush forward on anything. All the answers come from within you. This is about maintaining your peace of mind. These two swords are protecting inner peace. And as you can see, this figure, the history of this card, she's about to discover that island over there. So it's like you're thinking about new landscapes. You're thinking about coming out of your comfort zone a little bit more than you have done, because I feel like you've done a lot of that in 2025. You are moving into uncharted territory. And you may feel a bit cautious because the High Priestess was also cautious energy, but it's like the answers are within you. So this is about maintaining your balance, maintaining things, and seeing the duality in everything there. Also, I feel a really important conversation comes in this month, something that perhaps was at a stalemate by this point. I feel like you have a breakthrough. You move beyond it, whatever it is. Okay, and what else am I getting there as well? Maybe time to make a decision on something. I would say that you don't have to compromise on it. I feel like you still get the best out of a situation on that. Yeah, I feel like you conquer like mental conflict. You acknowledge that, you had confidence in yourself. And I also see an energy of reconciliation in this month as well. So it could be someone, gives you an olive branch if it's someone from your past, or perhaps if you had a conflict there that I didn't truly pick up on because it didn't really pop out. But it could be maybe you see someone in a different light in and around the month of May, as I mentioned, or even like the January-February period. But I feel fully there is like an olive branch. Now, as we move into the month of December, we've got the first card there as solitariness, desert, and we've got adventure, south. Some of you could be going on a big adventure, okay? It could be that you're actually going on a major vacation to a destination point that you've never been to before, okay? Because it feels like exploration mode. It feels that you are going outside your usual parameters. Like the spaceman literally takes himself out of the earth, okay? But this could also be about perspective. You remove yourself to see things from a higher perspective. You've got a lot of earth cards, which means you're grounded and you've been focusing on your plans, but now you're removing yourself to see things from a bird's eye view so that you can think about where you take life to next. This card, it highlights there's a difference between being alone and being solitary and feeling lonely. So this is about you removing yourself on purpose to do things, be a little bit more independent. I feel like you are sort of, I do apologize for that plane. It's really loud and really low, so I hope it isn't too loud on the microphone there. But this card, it's like acknowledging that you enjoy your independent time and go off on like perhaps a romantic date with yourself, or a gallery, for example. This card, it's number 13, change. So it's the end of the year, and the death card is number 13, so it's like December signals the change of the year, and you kind of like are on a swing. So it means, it's been fun. And as you see, you've met some new people along the way. There's a commitment there. Parakeets tend to represent high-level commitment or romance or soulmate energy. Soulmates don't always have to be romantic. It can be that, you're surrounded by your soul tribe, but it can indicate that, you also go off and do your own thing. There's 2 sets of footprints there as well, so I feel like you're never really alone. There's someone in spirit who walks with you. You've been guided throughout the year, and you're protected in all your endeavors. Now, also, we've got number 2, which is High Priestess energy, and of course, this card, it indicates that you are thinking about more risks that you want to take, but from an educated perspective, shall we say. So I feel like you're doing something you've never done before in the month of December, whether it is something that you've been meaning to do or plotting and planning to do for the year ahead in 2026, or you've been setting yourself up in this year to structure your kind of world in order to be ready to launch something else later on. I feel like there's more to be had, and I feel like you're carefully looking at your plan just to see what other missing ingredients there could be that you want to accomplish in 2026. Now, I feel like you found the happy medium here, and you have really been all or nothing. You've just gone for it in 2025. And I feel this card indicates that you're experiencing something new and perhaps on your own. I also want you to be aware there's a little umbrella there, which means you are protected in all your explorations. So it could be that you kind of like trial a new thing, or look into the alternative path for 2026. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide? Okay. My guides have asked me to get the cards together this time, so maybe there's a connection. I'm not sure, but I have to go with what my guides give me. We have the Strength card, and we have the Empress. So this is not a gender-specific reading. It indicates that you've been bold, daring, creative. You've birthed lots of ideas. There's been a lot of prosperity there. You stuck true to what you believe in. You've nourished yourself, and you leave the month on a high. But also, when I clarified the cards at the beginning of the year for you, you had the Strength card, which means, you did something differently. You were bold, and you were kind of like disciplined in your approach. I feel like whatever you turned your mind to and you put one foot in front of the other to accomplish, you did. And you leave the month of December feeling really proud of yourself. I would also say that this is another glow up month where new products, you may try things out there in terms of your beauty routine, whatever that may be. Also, I feel you may try a new food in this month. Okay, new cuisine, I just heard. So that's coming out there. Whether you're at a dinner party and you try something new and you're like, oh, that's really nice, and you get a recipe for it, that's coming through there. I just heard witch or warlock in the kitchen. So it could be that you're making your own kind of organic products, perhaps using herbs, spices, or maybe you are just trialing something there as well. What else am I getting? A very sociable month. Even though you've got the solitariness, I feel that's more at the beginning of December. Okay, and I feel as you close the month, I feel like you're a little bit more sociable, a little bit more fun things. It's almost like I'm seeing like an Alice in Wonderland kind of thing at the end of the year there. So this could be an event that you go to, or maybe it's like you going off and being like in some sort of festival or market or something where there's a lot of wonder, you know, because I'm seeing like eat me, drink me, you know, yeah, there's just this maybe food festival. I'm not sure. I'm just going to leave it at that. Alice in Wonderland is like meeting wild and wacky creatures and people and experiences and like, yeah, maybe discovering a part of yourself that perhaps, or even reconnecting to a part of yourself that you feel has been missing. You've been on a soul searching kind of year ahead, and finally you discovered more about yourself, what you're capable of there as well. I mean, also, this could be a month where you hear news about a baby being born as well. And for some of you, this is also a prime month for you to give birth. But I see it's like new ideas for the next year ahead. Okay, I'm just going to go get some final cards. Any advice that, you know, is coming up here? Divine timing. Everything is going to happen in divine timing for you. It says, surrender to divine timing. The universe is looking out for you. Trust when it's not the right time and surrender. But trust when it is the right time and go for it. Okay. We've also got, not every sweet root gives birth to sweet grass. So this is about you being more discerning about the projects you take, the people you spend time with, where you spend your energy. I did mention earlier that there's a lot of arrows around you as well, okay? And this little one is holding a bow, okay? So there's got to be some arrows there. Oh yeah, they've got an arrow there as well. Look, you know, everything happens for a reason. When I see it, I call it, and it comes out there too for you. I would say this is connected to perhaps an opportunity. Remember I mentioned at the beginning of the year, if you're going for an opportunity, there's two. One of them, it seems really good, but intuitively you go for the other one. And the other one, you know, it has either a bad reputation or it crumbles or something goes wrong with it. So, you know, it's like you look at the goals that you want and not all of them are going to bear fruit. But intuitively, if you listen to your heart, you will be on target for the ones that are going to be sweeter than the others. Prayer. Okay, I did mention something about miracle earlier. It says, whatever you've been asking for in prayer, believe and it will be yours. Worship, devotion, pleading, and faith. Definitely deepening your faith this year. You had a lot of high priestess energy there, but I do see that something you've been asking for that is a bit of a miracle is going to happen for you. Exhaustion. Just be a little bit mindful of that. I feel like you're running on high energy the most of the year, but I would say you have a bit of a dip when it comes to May there. It may seem like a long journey, but trust your final destination is near. Breakdown, mental fatigue, and energy drain. I feel like you're paying a lot of attention to that in 2025. And finally, we got birds. So bird's eye view, but also soaring to great heights. It says, it's time to expand your wings. No one can bring you down. You're starting really positively. As I said, no one is going to like mess with your inner equilibrium. You're being positive and hopeful. It says freedom awaits, soaring high and thriving. So great energy. And let's see one more final deck there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Virgo? What do they need to know? Can you please guide them for their highest good? What do they need to see? We have, despite your frustration, you're on your way to making all your dreams come true. Okay, so that's a really big one there. We've also got, you have so much to offer the world. Don't ever doubt your contribution. Now, doubt did come out there for you as well. You backed yourself. You didn't doubt. You were confident. And finally, be careful who you take advice from. Okay, it's really important. Taking advice best advice is inside, okay? Of course, it's great to soundboard with friends, family, maybe even people in positions of authority to help you. But ultimately, intuitively, you know the answer within yourself, okay? So yeah, just be mindful. That's obviously something that you take with you for 2025. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have... Interesting. We have a flower, so lots of blossoming this year. I'm also hearing they love me not. So big year for love if you're looking for a partner there, but it's like freshness. Big time for you is spring, okay? There's lots of other things, but I feel springtime is really great for you there. We also have an owl for knowledge, wisdom, so connecting to high-level education there, getting qualifications, certifications to bring you to the next level. Definitely starred. You know, the owl sees everything, very vigilant, keeping an eye on things, maybe even, you know, focusing on your projects and not telling anybody about it until you're ready to reveal it. Also, we got the angel, which means you're protected and you're guided. Remember, anything that doesn't go your way or you feel you have a setback in, it's a silver lining because it means you're protected and redirected towards something greater. We also have a little dragonfly. Now, this is connected to soulmate energy, okay? But this is about flying high, living in the moment, carpe diem, okay? We have a certain time on this planet and we must fill it with as many positive experiences as possible. Easier said than done, I know. Life is about challenge, it's about ups and downs, but it's also about joy, and it's about finding the balance between the two. And of course, there you go, you got balance. I just saw that you've got a button with the scales on it. So making some adjustments this year, staying true to what you believe in. I would definitely say that you're creating a structure for your life that is very positive, harmonized, and I feel like you are in the flow, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Virgo. Also, if you'd like to be in with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, I'm bringing back the competition for this month. I will announce the winner of the free competition in February. So if you would like to take part in it and get a free reading from me, all you have to do is take a moment to think about the world. You know, see the world in your mind's eye and surround it with a golden light of healing, because I feel like we're going to need it for this year in terms of world events. And that's all I ask. And then in the comments box below, if you just put a heart emoji and a world emoji, okay, and I'll enter you into the competition and I'll announce that winner at the end. You have to be subscribed to my channel, and that's not just a trick for me getting more subscribers, not at all. You know, I can't find people's names if you're not subscribed. You know, you can write a message, but the way that my YouTube seems to work is that when I'm called to find a person's name for the competition, my guides give me a certain name. When I put it in, I can't find it unless the person is subscribed. So really frustrating, of course. But, you know, if you want to enter the competition, you do have to subscribe so I can find you as well there, okay? So I'll leave it there. Thank you so much, my beautiful Virgo, and love and light.